Billy and Susan were too determined to see what was inside the mysterious trunk to give up. Billy said,
"I think I see a metal pipe in the corner. That should do the trick."
Billy got the pipe and was able to break the lock. He opened the trunk, and Susan started rummaging through the trunk and said,
"All I see is an old doll and a photo album." "Wait! Look, Billy! A book! It looks very old."
Susan blew off the dust and read the words on the cover of the book aloud to Billy.
"It says bedtime stories to die for."
All of a sudden, the attic door opened and Susan said,
"Quick, shut the trunk and I'll hide the book under my robe."
Johnny's hatred towards his father grew more and more every day, and it showed by his actions towards animals. Johnny found a rabbit behind the barn and strangled it to death. Then Johnny built a fire, cooked the rabbit, and ate it. For Johnny's 16th birthday, Johnny's father picked up a piece of roadkill off the road and brought it home to Johnny and said, "Happy birthday, moron." Johnny's response was, "Someday I'm going to kill you." Johnny's father took a swig of whiskey and said, "You ain't got the guts, you little twerp." Johnny got up from the table and went back to his room, slamming the door behind him. Johnny's mother told her husband, "You shouldn't be so hard on him." Jack slapped her and said, "Shut up and mind your own damn business. You're just as pathetic as that little twerp of a son is." Jack grabbed his wife by her arm and dragged her back to the bedroom and severely beat her until she was unconscious. Johnny would cover his ears to drown out his mother's cries. But this time, Johnny wanted to hear it all. He bolted out of his bedroom and got a butcher knife out of their kitchen. Johnny kicked his parents' door down, grabbed his father by the hair on the top of his head, and repeatedly stabbed his father to death. Then, Johnny strangled his mother to death. Johnny went outside the cabin and built a fire and took his parents' bodies and threw them both into the fire. Johnny said, "Finally, I can get a good night's rest." As the Dalton family got off the plane, they were in shock to see what was taking place. The airport was on fire, and other planes were on fire with passengers trapped inside. People were running around everywhere. The Dalton family was in tears from hearing the screams and moans coming from the burning passengers. They immediately turned around to head back up the stairs of the plane to ask the pilot if he could take them away from this horrid place. When Mr. Dalton entered the cockpit and tapped the pilot on the shoulder, he found him dead. One of the infected people had chewed off half of the pilot's neck. Mr. Dalton left the cockpit and made up a story so his family wouldn't be frightened. But little did he and his family know they weren't going anywhere but to the hands of the infected people.
"What do you mean, he's gone?" "Look, Jack, I don't know how to say this, but there was this beam of light," Sam whispered.
"Are you serious?"
"It was only here for a second, and then it was gone. And so was David."
Jack's mind was reeling. "I've read about things like this."
"No," Sam interjected. "I know what you're going to say, and I don't understand what just happened, but there has to be a logical explanation."
"Sam, it's like Emma said. This is the Bermuda Triangle. Logic doesn't apply."
"But that's just not possible."
"In the morning, we'll go look for David on the island. I'm sure he just wandered off or something. That must have been what happened. All right, until then, let's keep this to ourselves. Agreed?" They knew their love was forbidden, and if anyone found out, they would both be shot. Well, guess what? They both were in the attic, making passionate love, when the owner, Jack Bullard of the plantation, came in on them, and in a jealous rage, killed them both with 2 shots to the head.
No! Oh!
Jack was in love with his slave Lucy, and when he seen the 2 together, he lost control. Then a panic-stricken Jack knew he was dead if the Yankee soldiers found their general dead in his attic. So Jack took an axe and gave his slave Lucy and the Yankee general 40 whacks, then dismembered their body with the axe. The bodies were placed underneath the floorboards of the attic, never to be seen or heard from again. The only reason the Yankee general's soldiers didn't search for him is because Jack put the Yankee general's clothes on another Yankee soldier that was the same height and bore the same resemblance as the dead Yankee general. Jack placed what appeared to be the Yankee general's body at the battlefield on his plantation grounds, where a battle was underway, making it look like he got killed in battle. So the Yankee soldiers buried the wrong man, and Jack got away with murder.